Well, it's a day 2 of week 4 of the LCS with coverage brought to you by Alienware. I was out front. I took a long time waiting for Fudge to finish his fan meet, and it took too long, and then I came up here because I gave up, and then he came up here, and now we're not going to go back downstairs. So
I'm lazy.
the shout out to Alienware. You were just telling me that this is the worst day of your life.
I was being a little bit dramatic, but today I entered on stage. Then I had to do analyst desk. Then I had to do like a really long fan meet in the scorching sun. Reminds me of Australia.
Yeah. It's 70 degrees outside, by the way.
Is that bad?
It's like, what is it in Celsius? I think it's like...
That's probably like 30, no?
No.
Less?
I think it's like 26.
Yeah, actually, it's not actually that sunny. It's just that I like to complain. And then now I have to do this interview, the worst part. And then I have to do riot features.
21.1 degrees Celsius.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I mean, look.
It's very bright. You're right, actually. But it's extremely bright, and it feels hotter than, I guess, maybe it's just because I don't know, maybe I'm just angry, so I'm hot.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I have to do another riot interview after this interview. And then I'll have to go back and do a draft meeting where like we decide how I'm gonna 1-2 or 2-3 Renekton again. So I'm gonna enjoy my day today. It's amazing.
Yeah, so I thought Renekton was a sinner champ. Wasn't that the whole thing?
That is the whole thing, yeah. I'm sinning right now.
Okay. Do you get angry messages from Korea whenever that happens?
From who? From us?
Oh, yeah. Sure, I don't know.
No, I don't get any angry I get angry messages from like there's like sometimes when we like, for example, yesterday I picked Renekton and we lost, and then I think I picked Renekton yesterday. I don't even remember anymore. Yes, I picked Renekton and we lost, and then I got like replies to like a tweet about seeing us losing, saying like, disgusting sinner, LS didn't teach you this, something like that. And I was like, I mean, it's just funny, I guess, to me when people like get mad at me for picking Renekton.
So TSM are watching TSM versus NRG, and they're both 4-6 right now, but it looks like TSM's going to win this. Are you surprised at all that TSM, even though they have a losing record, are you surprised that they've been like middle of the pack at least to split?
Yeah, I really thought they would be like the worst team in the LCS. They're more like Immortals. And I don't know, they're doing way better than expected. Insanity has been looking really good I mean, obviously people were expecting Ruby to be the mid laner, but like if someone said, Insanity's going to be the mid laner, people are going to think, that's even worse, right? That's probably what the general sentiment would have been. But he's been playing really well. Obviously, like, they're not super good, but they've been a lot better than what I expected, that's for sure.
I've noticed a trend this split, and maybe it's just a coincidence, where like North American talent seems to be overperforming expectations, and a lot of like high profile import talent seem to be underperforming expectations. Do you think that's a coincidence? Do you think it's true? Is there some sort of takeaway there?
The NA talent that's overperforming, the only one I can think of is Insanity. The one Revenge, that's true, but I feel like Revenge has always been like as good as he's playing. He just has worse teammates. And I mean, obviously he's improving, but like I feel like he's always been like decent, and I think he's still decent, but his teammates have gotten a lot better. Armao, you're right.
See?
I fucking hate him.
Really?
No, I don't. I'd always argue with him for fun whenever we're on like because obviously he was the positional coach for Blabber last split when we won, and he's just annoying. Like, he's just an annoying person. Like, he always wants to argue with you. Whenever you say something, even if it's like random and it's like you're not really thinking about what you're saying, he always wants to correct you so he's right. Like, fucking annoying. I hate that guy. But yeah, he's playing pretty well, which I don't like. But good on him, I guess. Yeah. I hope he fails.
So there's 3 examples right there, right? And then you can look at a lot of high-profile import talent that I think are kind of flopping.
There's Vikla that I can think of. Yeah. Prince now is kind of playing poorly, I guess. Yeah. Well, who else is there?
TSM's mid laner, former mid laner.
Ruby?
Yeah.
Has he played a game?
Yes.
He did?
Yes.
When did he play a game?
Last week.
I didn't watch the TS. I didn't watch. I didn't even realize he played a game. I thought that he just never came in.
Yeah. And then they brought Insanity back.
Wow, that's crazy. That's some drama.
Yeah.
Who's making the decisions?
I assume their GM.
Oh, okay.
But that's an example, right? Where like the Insanity is like, oh, like bottom of the barrel. Oh God, we got to find a mid laner because we got visa issues. What's that guy up to? Okay, we'll grab him. They stick him in, and then we just reference him as an example of North American talent. They brought in their import mid laner, and not working out.
Yeah, I mean, well, to be honest, like just because someone's an import doesn't mean they're good.
Can you tell that to some of these team hunters? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm not the one. I'm not going to help other teams. You know, I'll tell that to Jack. I'm not telling that to other teams. Sure. But yeah, just because you're an import doesn't mean you're good. And also, I think people just overestimate the difference in skill between players just because they're from different regions. But Insanity is also playing better than he did last time he was playing in LCS. Yeah. Like, to be fair. Like, the last thing we saw of Insanity was a lot worse than it is now. So, he's improved.
Doesn't that stand to reason, though, that you give somebody more time to get ready? I normally keep these interviews less like Travis opinion things, but I just think it's been an interesting... I have been frustrated because I feel like we bring players over, then we send them back away. We don't build any fandom around the players, and then we go like, wow, nobody cares or roots for any of these players in the LCS. And I feel like I'm not even sure if there's a good reason for it. Because I'm not saying that there aren't like great players in other regions, but I think sometimes we tend to do things like, let's bring Ruby over whenever like Insanity doesn't get a spot, right? Or there's like other North American talent that are just like retiring because they can't find a spot or whatever. And so I don't know if you, a import player, but also one that's been over here for a while, have much of and somebody I think who does care about North American development despite not being from North America yourself. I don't know if you have much of an opinion on any of this.
I mean, I obviously think that teams just... I think realistically what happens is you bring in a coach and they want to have the best players individually they can. So they convince the GM or the owner to import these players so that they can have less of a job to do, is my honest opinion. Yeah. That's why they don't want to develop these players. I think there are some coaches that are like more long-term focused and they aren't really like trying to necessarily win the first split they coach or something like this, or like win every split. And I don't even know if importing these players, I feel like majority of the time it just doesn't win you these splits. Like, I guess we imported Berserker, but we didn't even win the first split that we had Berserker.
Yeah. But I mean, he's been great. He's
always been good, don't get me wrong, but like, I don't know. It's like importing doesn't mean you're going to win. And then obviously developing a player is just cheaper. And it's just, I mean, if you have confidence in your coach, it's going to lead to the player being worth developing majority of the time. So I think people are just lazy and they're just, they don't have the confidence that they can actually help these players.
I just get frustrated because like we have things where like Summit wins MVP, leaves, comes back. Now I wouldn't be surprised if he's not playing in the league next year. We'll see. But then like a certain evil genius's jungler also recently got MVP and also is not playing this split. It's just like we end up in a lot of situations like this. It's very goofy.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you should have like Jack on an interview, or like some of these. Maybe you should get EG's CEO on for an interview and ask them, what happened there. Yes.
I don't believe she is as involved in the team roster decision making.
Okay. Andrew Barden, come out, Andrew Barden, huh? Come out of here. Get on an interview with Travis.
But they're kind of making like the decisions now that I would like to see, right? Where they're bringing in like Armao and stuff. That's one of the reasons why I think Jack is like has usually found a good way to like find the balance with imports. Doesn't tend to rotate them in and out unless it's perks, but. But like you have other teams that can't. The people are probably tired of me here talking about this, but like the Team Liquid top laner situation, it's like the Defense Against the Dark Arts thing in Harry Potter.
What do you mean Team Liquid top laner situation? You mean like the Jenkins Alfari thing? What are you talking about?
Think about how many top laners Team Liquid has had in the past 4 years.
Well, they had Summit, Alfari, Jenkins. Who is that? Bwipo, that's true.
And Impact.
Impact.
Yeah.
Sure.
And that's like since 2020. You know what I mean? I'm like, I use that as an example of it's really hard to create fandom in the league because you bring in a top laner and then the top laner doesn't play in the league. And you're like, guys, everybody care about Alfari. And then he's like, God. And then it's like, no, we went Whippo. No. Okay, Jenkins. Okay, wait. Sub it. You know, like, it's not... For me, I feel like it's really hard to build fandom that way.
I agree, but the best way to build fandom is to win the split. And that's what teams are thinking, which is why they just do whatever, especially Team Liquid. I mean, they do whatever they can to just win the split.
I mean, it is definitely good to win the split, but you risk so much if you do. There can only be one team that wins the split.
Exactly. You're taking a big risk by like getting, a new top lane every split, but you're just trying to do whatever it takes to win.
Yeah. And I mean, like, look at EG last summer, right? They won. Now it's a couple. Like the only brand equity they have left is in JoJo, which is obviously great. He's a great player, but like, I don't know how many. If you were a fan of EG last summer, are you a fan of EG this summer? Less than a year later?
I don't think so. Probably not.
So, and they won, right? So, like, yes, you can get a lot of bursts. I think part of the reason people are huge fans of you guys is because C9 has had one of the most stable rosters over the last 3 years. Like, even as they have changed players in and out, obviously a ton of those players have stayed. And then, obviously, you guys are all charismatic and you win. So, it's like the perfect formula. But I feel like large part of it is because the team stays together for the most part,
Yeah, no, I definitely think that we have an advantage that we've known each other for like 3 years now, right? Yeah. And that allows us to also, be funnier content when we are like doing content together. We understand, we just have better banter around each other. Yeah. And we understand each other better, but also we're better in game, obviously. And we're also able to get a lot of new imports that might come into our team and like integrate them very well because we already like have really good relationships ourselves, so we're able to help them. Yeah.
All right, so TSM is going to win this game, I guess.
Wow.
And you're shocked?
I'm not shocked because it's NRG, although we did lose to NRG, but C9 just has to lose to NRG. I feel like in regular season, we have to at least lose to NRG once. I think that's what Blabber said last split, and then we lost to NRG in regular season. It's just inevitable. So next time we play against NRG, we're going to win. And then we're going to go into playoffs, and then we're going to just stomp playoffs once again because that's just the script.
So I'm trying to find out if I got blacklisted by a TSM because last week I requested Hanser and I got declined, and it was the first time I'd requested a player from TSM to split. So I've requested Insanity, who I think does like me. So if I don't get him, then we're leaning more towards TSM blacklisted Travis.
Oh yeah, if you don't get Insanity, then you're definitely like hated by someone in TSM. And we need to find that out. That's going to be the next drama on Reddit, no?
Well, exactly, because somebody was asking. I was in somebody in stream or something was like, "Man, when was the last?" Oh, Medios was saying, "When was the last drama in LCS?" And I was like, "Literally 3 weeks ago with the player walkout stuff." But like, because it's the LCS, 3 weeks passes, there's no drama, and people are like, "Man, it's so boring."
Yeah, like I'm so bored, man. Like, go fist fight or something. I don't know, man.
I mean, the Vulcan...
Punch Travis in the face right now. How about that? Will that be good enough for you guys?
I'd rather you not. Vulcan, Ayla was like... Could have been drama, but I feel like then Ayla beat Vulcan and it was just like over.
Yeah, but that's gonna be recurring drama, no? Yeah. Like Vulcan is pissed. Like he's pissed. Yeah. He's also better than Ayla, so he will definitely win eventually, and then he's gonna make a banger 20K like tweet. I'm already ready for it.
Or a thread. Are you on Threads yet?
I am on Threads. But I'm not probably going to use it very much, to be honest. Right. But I probably should. We'll see.
I mean, I think everyone will use it as much as everybody uses it. So either a bunch of people will use it or no one will use it. But yeah. Do you have the issue? Because you have a reputation, I think, for the types of accounts that you follow. And because Threads uses your Instagram...
It's even worse. Yeah, Threads is really bad.
Is that why you're not using it? Because it's hard for you to open it?
No. Okay. No, that's not why I'm. Why would it be hard for me to open it?
In a public setting, you open it up, and it's using your Instagram algorithm. I assume that you see a lot of stuff.
It's only on your phone. Threads.
Yeah. Oh, so you're like facing. Anytime you open social media, you're facing a wall.
That's not what I'm. No, I don't care if someone sees a thirst trap on my phone. Why would I care about that?
I don't know. I guess it's fair. It's fair.
I was already openly horny last year. You think I care, bro? I'm 21 years old. You gonna be mad at me for being horny?
All right, I think we're going to end this interview. Is there anything that you would like to say to anybody out there?
I apologize for picking Renekton. I'll never do it again. What do you want to say, Travis?
I was just going to close out the interview. Thank you so much for the interview. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things LCS right here on my YouTube channel. LCS is here, and so is my coverage. And while you might think that most of what I do here is just interview people, it's actually also about trying to impress people, because reputation matters at the LCS. You need to look stylish. That's why right now I'm sporting my 720H headset available from Alienware. But also, the coolest thing that really helps me stand out from the crowd is walking into LCS with my new M18, featuring their new Legend 3.0 design. The anodized aluminum lid with the dark metallic moon finish is very cool and helps me stand out from the crowd. People know I'm the coolest when they see me with an Alienware notebook that has an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 40 series GPU in it. So thank you so much to Alienware for sponsoring and helping me stay fashionable.